This is Musings and Counsel from London Baker Law with Debbie London Baker.
Can you explain what a revocable trust is?
Revocable trust is just what it says. It's revocable. So you put money, you put assets into a trust, which is designed to help you avoid probate and then to pass your assets on after you die without it going into the public domain or over time or whatever. But as long as the person who created that trust is alive, they can do anything with it. So right now, I've got a friend who created a trust, and she put her home into it, and she put a rental property into it, and she's going to sell the rental property. Well, it's her trust, so there's no problem. You just sell it. There may be a little bit logistically, because it hasn't happened with me before. So logistically, she has to do, but she has all the rights. She can sell that house with impunity. When she dies, that trust becomes irrevocable, which means the trustee, who's ever going to run it after she dies, can't change a thing in it. But revocable just means really what it says. You can add things to it. You can take things out of it. You can sell. You can do anything you want. You can dissolve it. You can do anything you want with it. But that's what the revocable trust is, and it's a vehicle to have assets passed down through generations, and it's designed to avoid probate. It's a private document. Wills become public knowledge. I'd imagine all states want wills to be recorded or filed, whatever they call it. And then, so if you were looking for somebody if you thought you were supposed to be a beneficiary in somebody's will, and that will had been recorded, you could find that will online or in the public records. A trust, okay. A trust, the will say, if you want information, look to my trust. Oh, by the way, you have no access to it. Now, obviously, it wouldn't say that, but so that's one of the reasons also people do trusts. Bing Crosby had a trust. So I read this years ago, and one of the reasons nobody ever knew how much he was worth when he died was because he had a trust. So however many millions or he wasn't worth, it all went through the trust and maybe still be going through the trust. But that's what a revocable, and it's living because it's living. Like I said, you can do anything you want with it while you're living.
What about when there's minor children involved?
Well, for minor children,
inheritance.
Well, minor children, they can't inherit money until they're 18, and I think that's federal.
That's a law.
I think it's federal. So the trust comes in then, because if you've got minor children and they can't inherit money, you need somebody to manage that. It's also to look at, would you have trusted yourself with any substantial money when you were 18? And most people would not have. Some people would have. Certainly I would not have. And so that's a way to be sure that you also don't hand an 18-year-old a substantial amount of money without them having some kind of grounding or background or support. It's, you've read about athletes who get big bonuses, and if they don't have financial advisors or they don't have good managers, that money can be gone in a heartbeat because they say they squander it isn't fair, but they use it not necessarily in their best interest. So I really advise trusts when you have minor children, pretty much any age. But right now, my son-in-law and daughter have a trust. I mean, I didn't do it. They've had it for years. And their children now are 32, 31, and close to 30. And I think the ages for distribution, if both parents die, are now 35, 40, and 45. And he's thinking of changing to 40, 45, and 50. Just because he figures, maybe they'll need it more when they're older, and all of them are doing well. And will they be responsible enough? Which they're all pretty responsible, but minor children for sure, absolutely for sure.
This has been Musings and Counsel from London Baker Law. Learn more at londonbakerlaw.com. Thanks for listening.